welcome back to this channel, and today we're making Supergirl Season 2 review. The episode ranking is going to be hard, I'll say that. But let's get started, because I don't have much to say. But go check out my Arrowverse playlist, and there will be a Supergirl playlist in the link in the description below. Actually, I'll put it in the card right here. So Arrowverse and maybe Supergirl. I don't know, we'll see. But let's get started. Let's start with the 20-second recap. Ready, set, go. Back in season 1, you had Non and Astra be the main villains. They were trying to poison the world with Myriad, and then at the end of season, and then Supergirl defeated them. And at the end of season 1, you saw a pod appear, and apparently we figured that out in the season, and that was the cliffhanger. Done. To be honest, I think that was quicker than most. But anyway, let's start with next up what the season's about. This season's about mostly about Supergirl, this guy named Monel, a Daxman, which Daxam is their rival planet to Krypton, I guess, and then there's this plotline involving Lily, and the Luthors are introduced, at least Lillian and Lena, but you see her trying to get rid of aliens on Earth, and then it's a bit all over the place, so I'll just explain in the episode go through. How about that, guys? Good. Starting off with next up you have the episode go through. Starting off with episode 1, in episode 1 you have Superman appear, actually, for the first time. Well, you did see a couple snippets of him in a couple episodes of season 1, but you never really saw his face yet. This is when you saw his face. I thought he was a pretty good character throughout the season. He was in 3 episodes. I think 4 maybe? I'm not sure. But, well, actually technically 4. Or 5. He might have been in episode 3, I'm not sure. So you see them kind of you see these kryptonite, you see these people with kryptonite in their chests, and then some fights go on. And then, that's really the first 2 episodes, I'm gonna be honest. And then episode 3, you see Mon-El woke up at the president's heat there, and then she gets attacked by I think a white Martian. I might be wrong. Something attacked her, and then they have to figure it out, mostly. Episode 4, you got, I think episode 4 was the one, I don't remember episode 4. I might have to read something about it. Episode 5, I think this is the one with the alien boxer fight thing, duo, whatever. I know that not much happened, except you did see Green Martians. And then, episode 7, that's the setup to Lillian Luthor's plan involving aliens, and also that's a cat mess, really. And then you saw a bunch of that, and actually episode 6 and 7 are kind of about that. And then, so you got that tease in episode 2 and 3 mostly, and she's saying, welcome to cat mess, I guess. And, I don't like the score up to episode 8, that really was annoying. I'll talk about that later. But overall, you have episode 8, Medusa, where she's like doing the plan and barely succeeded. Lena kind of stopped her. Yeah, that's true. Then you have episode 9, Supergirl Lives. You see not much really happened in the rest of the season. You did see the person that ran that boxing alien thing in episode 5. So, plus, I don't really care for that episode. Episode 11, you see some development on the Martians. Episode 12, you got more stuff on the Luthors. You saw Lillian Luthor escape from prison. You saw a lot of stuff. Episode 13, okay, I can skip that. Episode 14, you got, you got the relationship between Mon-El and Supergirl kind of evolving, and then some stuff with the Luthors. Episode 15, it was the second part to kind of this storyline involving the Luthors. Sorry about the background noise. And you kind of saw that. It was a great episode. Episode 16, you saw Rhea for the first time, Mon-El's mom. Main villain. Shouldn't have been, but main villain nonetheless. And then episode 16, they were kind of talking. There was a dinner meal. And then episode 17 is kind of the second part to it. There's kind of a 2-parter there. And the big great episode, I'd say, is episode 15, Exodus. I'm going to be honest, and then episode, what was it? Episode 17, the second part that you saw the first fight between Rhea and Supergirl. Problems with that. And then episode 18, you saw her become a reporter again. Saw some stuff with that. Episode 19, you saw Alex go into getting captured and getting some thing, I guess. And then episode 20, you saw Rhea appear on Earth trying to do a job with Lena in episode 20 and 21. And then there's the alien invasion, the last 2 episodes, and the Daxons were defeated, I guess. I don't know, this season's really strange in the way it's structured. I'll talk about that later, but yeah, that's the episode go through. Now you have the character go through. Starting at the character go through, you have Supergirl. I think Supergirl, she was good in this season. Didn't love the acting from Melissa Benoist. I thought she was way better in the first season because, I don't know what it was, but I think she is. I think she's way better as Kara than as Supergirl, in my opinion. So, but I mean, she was alright. But I think Supergirl's a great character here. I think she's better in crossovers, personally. I have seen the Invasion crossover, but in this watch, I'm doing it a little later. But overall, I think she's pretty good here. She's great. She's not great. I'd say she's just good. She's a good character overall. Then you have Mon-El. Mon-El is a very fun character to go with in general in this season. So I did really enjoy him. The acting was great. That stuff was awesome. But I just wish we got some perfect screen time. The dialogue that he delivered, the actor didn't do it perfectly. And him playing kind of this, I kind of like how he started as kind of like the heavy, like uptight character. Yeah, that's the right word. And then he kind of starts to be living on Earth, and then he doesn't really agree with the Daxon way, I guess you want to put it. But he's not like his mother, Rhea. So, I mean, that was pretty interesting to see. But I think he was a great character. And there's 2 cliffhangers at the end of the season. One involving some sort of dark Kryptonian thing. And then the other one involving Mon-El traveling through this portal. I'm guessing he's going to time travel. Let me know in the comments below. Actually, don't, because I don't want spoilers. So yeah, that's Mon-El. Now you have Alex. I think Alex is pretty good in this season. She doesn't do that much, really, at least in regards to the story. At least after episode 15, she doesn't do much. Like, she didn't really do anything except in that episode that was really focused on her. Episode 19. I'll talk about that in the episode ranking, but I think they did pretty good with her. They didn't do much with her, really, but I think the character development did work. I like how they gave her a girlfriend. That was kind of nice. I mean, she's a lesbian. Didn't love the fact that they literally mentioned that she's a lesbian, but whatever. It doesn't bother me. I bet it might bother me in later seasons of the show, or even in Batwoman. Who knows? And then you have the Martian Manhunter, or John Jones, or supposed Hank Henshaw. I don't know. But overall, I think he's pretty good here. Not much to say overall, but I think he was handled nicely in the season. I like how they did some of the Martian stuff overall, introducing a different Martian. That is a white Martian, actually. I like how they did all of that. That really worked for me. But again, like Alex, they didn't do much of it. They were more focused on Mon-El and that stuff over what they were doing with Martian Manhunter. Now you have Elena Luthor. I think Elena Luthor was a great character. I liked her how she was more moral than her family overall, or the Luthor family. And I like how she kind of cared about doing good, unlike her mother Lillian, who wants to just get rid of Alien. Oh God, not the movie, but yeah. I mean, Lena Luthor was a very great character here. Really liked what they did with her. The stuff with her and Rhea, not perfect, but what they did with her involving kind of her character arc, I never really got it, but it worked. I just like what they did with her, especially the beginning, up until episode 15. After that, they didn't do much with her, but they never did anything bad with her in general, so great character. Now you have Lillian Luthor, her mother. Yeah, an interesting villain. On one hand, I do like her, but on the other, yeah, not the best. Because the problem with her is that they kind of shoehorned into her. They shoehorned Rhea, so that kind of took away from her. I thought the character was interesting, but hopefully they bring her back in later Supergirl seasons, because I would like to see her storyline, but it doesn't make sense what they do with her at the end. And she's by far the weakest of the Luthors, of the 2 I've seen. I guess 3 if you include Flashback Lex. I don't know how that goes. But overall, I do really like Lena. I'm sorry, I do not really like Lillian. I do really like Lena. Yeah. Then you have Rhea, Daxam, and whatever the father's name is. Yeah, don't really like her. The acting from Terry Hatcher, not very good. I think Terry Hatcher can play more of like I've seen her in a few things. Like she played the secondary Bond girl in Tomorrow Never Dies. Hey, back-to-back days. So, actually, that's kind of funny. So, I mean, and I thought she's better in those kind of roles over this. She's just odd here. Like, I feel like her playing this uptight role, it doesn't really work. I think she's better when she kind of gets to show her personality. I've seen her in a few things, and I think that works better than what they did with her here. But in Rhea, her master plan is just kind of dull, nothing interesting to it. There's not much interesting to her. I thought she was better as being the mother to Mon-El over being the main villain of the season. That didn't really work for me, but but her death was pretty satisfying overall. You have Maggie, or Alex's girlfriend. I liked her character arc here, and there's not much other than that. I didn't really use her that much other than being her girlfriend, but the way she was introduced was pretty nicely done, and I think I enjoyed her. This is one of those characters I just don't have much to say about. Then you have Guardian and / James Olsen. I didn't like that they made him Guardian. It just took away from the character that I really liked in season 1, and then him here, yeah, I didn't really care for him. I'm not gonna rank I'm not gonna rank these characters like I normally do, because I don't really have a ranking, because it's gonna be a really weird one, and yeah. James Olsen, not the best utilized character, but I think I prefer him when he's Jimmy Olsen over being Guardian, which I don't know how National City came up with that. That was worst name superhero. Let's rank all the names. Number 1, Flash. Okay, yeah, that concludes James Olsen. Next up is gonna be Winn. I think this is the final character I have here. I think Winn was actually really well utilized. I thought he was really odd in the first season, but here he's utilized to his potential. Like, you see him behind the desk working, helping Guardian. I liked all this stuff. They gave him a girlfriend, which is pretty cool. But overall, pretty well utilized character, but not much to say. I like the humor they did with him, but overall, yeah, not much. Now you have the good, and starting up the good is the watchability. This one I do think is actually, in a lot of ways, it was more watchable than season 1, because they put more like side storylines in this season than they did in season 1, and it worked for the most part. But I can't say it's a better season, because it's not. It's very sloppy. I think this is one of those seasons that, like, I think most seasons, other than Arrow season 4, at least that I've seen, have better flow. Either have great episodes, or it's well put together, or it flows well together. I think this season, I'd say it's more about the episodes. Season 1, I think it's the opposite. I do think the best episode of season 2 is better than the best episode of season 1. That's not really a competition for me, but I really do like the fact that this season is very watchable, and overall, yeah, I find it a watchable season. Then you have the characters here. Most of them are pretty good, as I mentioned, so I'm not going to go further with this, but they're pretty good. Supergirl is pretty good, Mon-El's good, yeah, they're all good. Except for some of the villains, and I also really like Lena. Then you have the introduction to the Luthors, as well as Superman. Really, outside of Lex, they introduced really all the Luthors from the comics, except for maybe Lex's nephew, but that doesn't count. But I think even though I didn't love Lillian Luthor, I think I'll start with Superman. He was introduced really well in that first episode, and I liked the fact that he was there. I liked all that stuff, and overall, I just really liked the way they introduced Superman here. Then you have the introduction, and then you have the Luthors. I think I prefer the way they introduced Lillian Luthor over Lena Luthor. But I think they were both introduced well in the idea of the Luthors themselves. Not so much the characters, but them themselves as a family were introduced pretty nicely here. That's what I think. Then you have the mixed, and I feel like there's a lot of mixed things, but really all it came down to is the master plans. I kind of had to put something in the mix. Of all the things I put in the bad, I chose master plans to put in the mix because on one hand, I think I kind of like how they're more simple and not so complicated, kind of like your right Dawn's plan. But on the other hand, as ranking them as master plans, they're just not very good. I'm gonna be honest. But overall, I don't mind Lillian's master plan. It didn't bother me that much. It was a little distasteful at times, but it's an Arrowverse show, so I feel like TV shows can get away with it better than movies can. So, and then I think Rhea's master plan while in the alien invasion, I told you guys, I don't really like it. It's just dull. There's nothing really interesting about it. But, I mean, it's another alien invasion plot. So, I mean, I'll deal with that. I can actually enjoy those kind of plots, but nothing special. So, yeah, I don't really care for either of them. Now you have the bad, and starting at the bad, we have the action. Honestly, this season does not have very good. I think the action is slightly better in season 1 because there are some pretty good fights, especially in the beginning of the season. But overall, I don't really care for the action either seasons. I'm gonna be honest. But I think the final fight here with Rhea was just terrible. I don't know what they were thinking. The punches are the. They just didn't land, and then there was even a slow-mo shot of Rhea throwing Supergirl into a electric thing, and then they have the kryptonite plot. Oh my god. This season's weird. But honestly, the action overall wasn't not the best. Then you have the villains. I talked about both of them. I don't need to go further. Then you have the plot. The plot of the season, there's not really even a main plot, I'm gonna be honest. Involving the aliens, I think Lillian Luthor's plot was way better than Rhea's. But I feel like Rhea, I don't really understand why she turns into a villain. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So yeah, the plot, I think this season has a really odd plot. And also, of all the main villains of the Arrowverse, Rhea's probably the one that should not have been the main villain. I think Lillian Luthor should have been the main villain. And Katniss. Maybe make Katniss a bit more interesting near the end of the season, but yeah. I don't think the organization of Katniss is that interesting. I'm gonna be honest. Then you have the structure of the season. What is there to say? It's just a weird structure. Of anything I would point to as flaws of the season, this is probably the biggest one. Because the season's gone pretty well with the Lillian Luthor's plot, but I mean, I think I can see why they kind of decided to switch gears. But you know what would have been interesting? They did Lillian Luthor up to episode 8, and then between episode 8 and episode 15. Between episode 8 and episode 15, you do the Rhea plotline. You do the Rhea plotline without the alien invasion. Take the last 3 episodes out of the season, and then put that to the Rhea plotline. So all the episodes after episode 15 get moved after episode 8. Get moved to after episode 8. I mean, every episode. Every episode except for episode 18 and 19. So episode 16, actually keep episode 19 there. So episode 16, 17, 19, 20, 21, and 22. Maybe in 22, they could start, and then so you can have Rhea's plotline, because Rhea's plotline takes up a lot less episodes than Lillian's plotline, and then maybe Katniss was just waiting for them, and then they get rid of the Daxams. Although then you have to get rid of Nanelle. So this season's structure vary more. I think even Arrow season 4 is a better structure than this season. I mean, not really, and that's not a good thing at all. So I mean, the structure is just really bad. Overall, if you have to point out the structural flaws here, there's so many. You could just literally you could just swap around episodes and then it would be a lot better. I could do that, probably. But then at the same time, it does kind of work in the order that it does, but it's just very oddly done, especially. And then why would Lillian Luthor help them? Just why? That doesn't make any sense. The season does not make a lot of sense. The way it's structured, just forget about that. Yeah, that concludes bad. Oh wait, also the score. Don't click off yet, but the score, yeah. I mean, after episode 8, I can deal with it. It's fine, but before that, I'm da na na na. It's like it's playing that kind of like evil ass version of the Supergirl score, and it just doesn't work. Season 1 had a much better score. Yeah, okay, that's just really weird. I might just be nitpicking at this point, but the score here, not very good. And overall, yeah, weird season. It's okay, but it's weird. For this film's, seasons, you're right to rank them so far. Here's what I think. Number 1, Flash Season 1. Number 2, Arrow Season 1. Number 3, Arrow Season 2. Yeah. Number 4 is Flash Season 2. Number 5 is Stargirl Season 1. Number 6 is Supergirl Season 1. Number 7 is, 8 plus 1. Yeah, 9. Number 6 is Supergirl Season 1. Number 7 is Flash. No, not Flash. 7 is going to be Arrow Season 3. 8 is probably Supergirl Season 2. 9 is Legends of Tomorrow Season 1. And 10 is Arrow Season 4. Yeah, 10 seasons. That's a bit. I mean, overall, like, yeah. That concludes this video. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and comment down below. I'll see you guys next time. Adios.